Lots to cover today. This is a really exciting event for us. We have a long history at Directus going back to 2004 when I first created the platform as part of my agency in New York City. As some of you might know, we based this platform on PHPMyAdmin. So that kind of goes to show how legacy the roots of the system are. We've subsequently open sourced this, years later. Rich joined the team, and we've continued to grow throughout 20 years of product development and growing our team. So today, what I'd like to really dive into is the community side of our organization, which really is the most important extension of our core team. And we're going to focus on 5 key aspects of this community that I think really help understand how we got here 20 years later. And we're going to start off with GitHub. GitHub is inarguably, in my opinion, one of the most valuable metrics for how we measure success. I remember, back in 2017, and this is on our Twitter feed, you can actually see there's a piece of hardware that just showed this metric, GitHub stars. And I think it was 1,400 or thereabouts back then. Now I have a digital version of the same thing where we are at 23,496. And it would be amazing if we could just push it over, 24,000 and beyond. But this metric has been so amazing at quantifying how developers feel about our software. Watching the curve of seeing those GitHub stars go up. We used to be blown away by every single individual star, and now it seems like a month doesn't go by where we don't go through 1,000 stars. So that has been our guiding light. GitHub stars, those stargazers, thank you all so much. The next on that GitHub side of things would really be just contributors. There's the overall contributor network, but who's actually submitting those pull requests to our repository. I think we have 350 plus contributors going in and doing pull requests, contributing to our discussions, fixes, and of course, taking part in our license change. Just a few months ago, we made a big paradigm shift, moving from GPL to BSL, and we did this with our community. We did this through GitHub, and so thank you to everybody who's been involved in everything from PRs to figuring out exactly how we make this into a sustainable organization. The third piece of GitHub would be issues. This is just a really interesting metric. It kind of is the sum of our discussions and pull requests and fixes, all of these different components of GitHub. But we actually just a few weeks ago passed 20,000 of these issues, which is just an insane number to me. And so, across stars, contributors, and issues, that's the GitHub side of our community. It's really just the annex of all of our work, both the code and community comes together there. Next up, diving into Discord. So if you look at the authoritative, GitHub as where our source code and we're tracking the project, Discord is more of an ephemeral community building. We have our events. We have both our core and community located in Discord. We started off on Slack, a little more business oriented, and we shifted over to Discord. And I believe we passed maybe a month or two ago, 10,000 members of this platform, which again, on the community side is just so meaningful to have people engaging and interacting, asking questions, giving answers, talking about their collaborations and things they've built on our platform. It's just amazing to see that. It's being a little obsessive about checking all of my channels and seeing all these unread channels that minutes later there's more people chatting. It's just so exciting to see. So beyond sort of our core team, which is in some private channels, our community, which is in all the public channels, we also host a lot of events in our Discord server. So we have everything from office hours and request review, where we cover the process of how we look at our feature requests through GitHub, and then we go through how do we decide what comes next? How do we evaluate these requests alongside the business needs and growing the business? So lots to cover. If you want to join those events, there's always something going on. Even in this Leap Week, we're adding in like ad hoc events. After these pre-recording things, we're actually circling back and spending some time on Discord chatting about these releases that we're announcing. So join us on those, maybe even after this in Discord. Don't mention the core team, but you can certainly come in and join those events and just start those dialogues. Next, we have user groups. So user groups is sort of the transition from maybe digital to in real life. We have this amazing piece of software. We have this telepresence and videos and all these great events and everything through Discord. But how do you actually bridge the gap into the real world? And we're doing that through regional global events. So our team is global, our community is global, our platform is global, and so our events are also global. We've done New York City and London and Berlin so far, and really excited to announce right now that we have several other regions that we're pushing imminently. So San Francisco, shout out to our amazing investors with True Ventures. We have Amsterdam, the home of Rijk van Zanten, our CTO and co-founder, and we have Paris coming up, where if you've been following along, we have Alex, our new director of engineering, who joined us from the Nuxt team. So he's out of Paris, or out of Bordeaux, actually. So really exciting to have these moments to go meet up with our community, have some pizza, hang out and talk shop. And if you want more information, if you're looking for notifications on these events, we actually have an events page on the website. You can go and sign up for those per region. So that's where you can go for next steps there. Fourth is guest authors. So contributing to the platform can come in a lot of different ways. Obviously, you can contribute via code. We talked about events, but content, documentation and articles. How do you use these amazing capabilities? When you have a toolkit, there's infinite ways you can piece it together to build different things. And so we love having this guest author program we've just started, which gives us the ability to bring in contributors to actually have them share the tooling that they're building for Directus. Whether it's on Directus or beside Directus, extensions, etc. Different deployment options. We have, everything under the sun, from DigitalOcean or Platform SH, Azure. There's so many ways you can deploy it. We can't cover all those. So having guests come in with their domain expertise and talk about, these different methods is an amazing avenue to creating that content. And I think we even had an AI-based game that was created using our Flow system, which is our automation tool. So really amazing. You can, again, go to our website and learn more about the guest author program, and that's run through GitHub. So same as a pull request or anything else, you just pitch your idea, you'll work with our team, and we'll get that formalized and give you some cash. Next and last is our hackathon, our hackathons. This is probably, the most exciting thing that we're doing right now. When you talk about a toolkit, you talk about how many options there are, you talk about the modularity and extensibility of Directus. It goes hand in hand with a marketplace, with the extension system. We've built Directus with modularity and extensibility from the ground up. So this is not something we came up with years later. We've truly integrated this into how we thought of the product. If you've heard of our 80-20 rule, we strive to have the core software provide 80% of what you're looking for out of the box. And that other 20% should really be accommodated by not just forking and customizing the open source side, but building extensions and having a really strong developer experience. And so part of that is us working with the community to look at, what should the theme be for a certain month, and how can we reward or help incentivize people to go out and build these amazing extensions that will end up hopefully in a marketplace. So a few months ago, we did a AI themed hackathon, which was amazing. I'll talk about a few of those here in a moment, but it's worth mentioning that we're in the final week of the current hackathon, which is around panels. So our dashboarding system called Insights is, again, another modular system. You can build anything from a time series to a meter to forecasting or anything else. Submit that into this hackathon, and several $1,000s, donations. It's a really great program. But going back to our AI hackathon of 2 months ago, we have two ways that we sort of reward the winners of those of each hackathon. One is a community award, and one is our core team sort of voting on what we feel is most meaningful. The community was a really, really amazing one. So this is a AI-powered image processing flow. And what it actually does is it allows you to actually extract text from images or media that gets uploaded to the system in that hook, and also describe, enrich the data with metadata from anything that you might upload. So very valuable if you're dealing with a lot of assets, a digital asset management system. Just one of the use cases you can power with Directus. That was the community award. So they got $1,000 cash, and we actually donated $250 to the donation of their choice. And on the core side, our core team actually elected Directus Copilot, which probably familiar with what Copilot is. That was an insights panel where you could actually use NLP, natural language processing, to ask questions about your data and get meaningful insights. So just really, really cool to see what the community comes up with, off the wall, whatever it might be. Submit those, and we'll be taking a look at the panel submissions in just about a week. So those are the 5 key aspects of our community. Obviously, the guiding light of this entire organization. It has been since the beginning. I couldn't be more proud of our core team. The extension of that being our additional maintainers and contributors, the global community network that we've built and that has advocated for us and engaged with us across Discord and all these different platforms, not just for Directus, but also for open source, which of course that's what it's all about. So my sincere thank you to everybody in this community for being a part of this journey.